Hello, Rama Rama Pupodu. Hope all are in good health, feeling relaxed, peaceful, and happy. Now let's go to chapter 7, part 3. God make amends. Ramdas saw Ramcharandas get into the train. Now he wandered aimlessly. Often he burst into tears at the thought of the dinner. The grief dulled his brains into a state of apathy. He found solace only when he withdrew within himself and entered into the silent depths of his being. During the night, he stopped in the rest house of a small wayside hamlet. One of the villagers offered him some eatables, which he did not accept. He was not in the mood to eat anything. In this manner, he roamed on for 2 days without food from village to village. He did not care for food, nor would he touch any when it was placed before him. He was now feeling a sort of searedness at heart. His feet were swollen due to the thorn pricks and blisters. In this condition, on the third day, he arrived at a village named Shetphal. He went into a mandir of Maruti and laid down his tired body on the hard stony floor, and covering it with his only cloth, rested. The time was midday. He had hardly taken half an hour's rest when he heard the footsteps of somebody entering the temple. He had screened his head with the cloth. The visitor, having performed his puja, within about 5 minutes approached Ramdas and asked, "Who is that?" Ramdas remained silent. Then he pulled off the cloth from Ramdas' face and questioned, "Why are you lying down here like this? Have you eaten anything for the day?" Ramdas simply replied, "It is the will of Ram that he should not eat," and was covering himself again when he caught Ramdas by the arm and drew him up into a standing posture. He was a tall and strong man. Then he almost dragged Ramdas forcibly with him, saying, "Ram's will is that you should take meals in my house. Come along, I will not allow you to starve." Ramdas had to submit. The kind friend's house consisted of a long, narrow room facing the street, and front portion of which was used for a shop of sundries and the back as residence. He led Ramdas directly into the interior where a young girl was busy preparing meals. "Child," he said to his daughter, such she was, "serve this sadhu first. Cook for him some soft rotis, for he is without any teeth." Spreading a gunny bag on the floor, he made Ramdas sit down on it. He said, "Maharaj, I am a poor petty shop keeper. This is my only daughter," pointing to the girl. "I have no wife. The girl is unmarried, so you will have no objection to eat from her hands." It was evident from his words that there is a certain class of sadhus who are opposed to eating food prepared by married women. However, Ramdas neither belonged to that class, nor did he favor the views held by them on this point. Now the food was ready. The kind shopkeeper mixed in a brass plate 2 rotis with a quantity of dal curry, converting the whole into a soft mixture. Then he fed Ramdas with his own hands, just as a mother would feed her child. "Lord, art thou making amends for what thou madest him do in the Annakshetra of Pandharpur?" thought Ramdas. What love, what kindness! Taking leave of the shopkeeper, Ramdas rambled on, and after passing many a village, came to Anjangaon. Here in the street, a man directed him to the house of the Kulkarni, a village officer. Ramdas entered an old-fashioned square block of buildings and took his seat on one of the verandas. He saw 2 men sleeping on the opposite side, their bodies concealed beneath white sheets. There was none other visible outside on the veranda. The time was about 10 o'clock in the morning. As was his wont, he was humming to himself the Ram Mantram. The sound of the divine name seemed to have roused one of the sleepers from his slumber. Rubbing his eyes, He sat up, awakening the other also. The latter went in while the former looked at Ramdas and asked him what he wanted. Ram has directed his servant here for Bhiksha, Ramdas replied. These words seemed to have produced an electric effect on the questioner. He invited Ramdas to a seat on the mat. Now Ramdas went on talking in a spontaneous flow about the glories of God and the power of his name. Soon after, they were joined by the other friend. The first one was the Kulkarni, the master of the house, Madhav Rao by name, and the second was his family, priest Govind Joshi, a resident of Opalai, a village about 3 miles from Anjangaon. At the first touch, both of them fell in love with Ramdas. Madhav Rao was overflowing in his kindness. He drew Ramdas' legs towards him and fell into rubbing the soles. The feet are not only worn out and swollen, there are also a number of thorns struck in, he remarked. Josie and Madhav Rao worked briskly on Ramdas' soles with 2 needles and pulled out all the thorns. The friends observed the deep cuts and also that the skin at places had worn out so much as to reveal the flesh inside. Madhav Rao procured some ghee and filling the dents with it, smeared it all over the soles. Next he took Ramdas for a bath. He applied oil all over the body. Ramdas had no bath for several days, and exposure to the heat of the sun during the rain and to the cold in the night, with starvation into the bargain, had turned the skin dry, dirty, and rough. With all tenderness, Madhav Rao washed the body with hot water and soap. While the bath was in progress, Ramdas reminded him of Sri Krishna and Sudama. With all love, the Lord tended and nursed the emaciated body of his devotee. Bath over, he was fed with a simple and wholesome meal. The day and part of the night passed in talks on devotion and lives of saints. The ensuing day, Govind Joshi, proposing to take Ramdas to his village, Opalai, left Anjangaon with him and reached the village before dark. Govind Joshi was an old and poor man. When Ramdas entered his hut, for such it was, he was welcomed by Joshi's wife as if she was awaiting his arrival. As he sat down, she began to massage his legs and talk to him so familiarly that she appeared to have known him for years. A simple, childlike, splendid soul she was. He remained in Upalai for a couple of days. The villagers in hundreds came to see him. Joshi and his wife, who also had a son, treated him with great hospitality. Indeed, hospitality is the pride and glory of the Hindu households. He gave the devout couple the names Atrimuni and Anusuya, and their son Datta, and their house Atri Ashram. From Upalai, he went to Angar, to which place he was invited by Balwant Rao, the Kulkarni of the village. Here again he met with kindness and love from all alike. With the aid of an escort, he next proceeded to Mohol, where he lodged with Janardhan Pant, a schoolmaster and a great devotee. He was pure-hearted and was also a sincere seeker after truth. Here Ramdas met another school teacher, Babuji, a devout soul, who arranged for his journey to Sholapur by motor bus. With Babuji, he arrived at Sholapur and was put up in the local Panduranga temple. He stopped here for a day and left for Bijapur. That's all, folks. Let's see in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Pupoda.